Day 3 on the Escalade, and we're starting to get things moving forward. Yesterday, after getting all the wiring and everything taken care of, radio installed, trim, everything back together, we're now working on the sub enclosure. So we've got the audio control Spike series 12-inch subs. These are single 2-ohm subs. We'll be running it at 1 ohm. That is because we will be using the new audio control altitude amplifiers. And this is the first time, if I remember right, they've ever had a 1 ohm stable amplifier. All of their sub amps were always 2 ohm stable, which was a main reason why I didn't use them on a lot of my installs, because I needed that 1 ohm load. But now it looks like they can handle it. So we'll be putting this on the other side on the amp rack, but the subs are wired, they're mounted, everything's good to go on here. Flip this box over, go ahead and get the amplifier figured out, prepped where it's gonna mount, see if I'm gonna do any risers. Then I also need to work on the laser for the cover of the amplifier. Then after that's all done, we got to go under the hood, wire up everything under the hood to the battery, put in the fuse, and get all the cables that are coming through there in the engine compartment with the high temp braided cable. You may be asking yourself, Cave, why does it take you 3 days to do work like this? I just feel like I need to point this out because it really is way longer than it should. This is like a 1-day job, honestly, for most shops. And I really wish that was the case with me anymore. Physically, I'm so broken to the point now where I move so slow that it's kind of embarrassing that these jobs take that long. But that's why, because I get some comments on people that'll be like, oh, why does that take so long? Oh, we could have that done in a day. We could do 2 of those a day. And yeah, back in the day, man, so could I. But as you get older, mine's my back. I've got a broken back. It's been fused. And once that happens, your life's pretty much over. And that's what's happened with me. Whew, had a lot going on here. All right, so where we're at, we have the sub box. Well, here, I'll just show you where I'm doing. So here's the back of the box. These were put in, Sub Thump did these little channels for the wiring. So the ground I'm gonna have going up there. This side's gonna have the power and the RCAs and everything on that side. That is the lighting. So I decided to go with 2. These are DRL, daytime running lights. They're actually very, very bright, very simplistic. They're LED, but kind of a cob style. Produce 0 heat, draw hardly any current. So these will work out great. They're just gonna shine right over the amp. There is the amplifier. So as you come around the other side, you'll be able to see what it'll look like. So there it is from where it says Escalade, and then right there's the amp. The new amplifier, I will warn you, first thing I screwed up. They come with screws, which I never use the screws that come with an amplifier. That's just because usually they're just cheaper quality screws than I want. So I've got pan heads that match the length and everything of their screws. The only difference was the heads were a little bit bigger, which is what I want. I want to have a little bit more grab. I dropped it in there, went to screw it down, and it got stuck. These holes are not straight walled. They coned them, so they cone down to a smaller point. So you cannot use screw heads that are larger than the ones they provide. So just be aware of that when you're putting in one of those amplifiers, because it took me about 30 minutes to try and get that screw forced back out of there, and then I used theirs. Right here, it looks like I take that cover off, and that's how you'll access the screw downs for the power, the ground, the speaker, and probably all the gain controls and everything like that. So that's there, and there'll be just white light kind of shining inside there, and then I can show you the cover. Putting the laser to work, I did find I may have an exhaust problem because, man, it got smoky in here. I thought I had a fire going on the laser, but this fan just isn't drawing out. So I have to check that and see if the fan's either going bad or if I just got a dud, because I can see it pulling, but it ain't pulling enough. And I do have a big inline fan for like HVAC, a 4-inch in the other room that I can put on here, which is what I'll probably end up doing if it needs it, but definitely wasn't drawing out enough because this room filled with smoke and was kind of getting me a little concerned as I was lasering out the amp cover. And here I have the amp cover in the paint room drying. It's got a coat of polyurethane on it, but so basically I etched out the outline and then laser cut out the Cadillac logo. Then we went ahead and stained it to match the wood grain that's on the doors. On the back side, I'm going to put a piece of acrylic so then, you know, stuff can't fall down through there. So be a piece of glass on the other side of there, and then the light will shine. So this isn't working as ventilation. This is just working as, you know, showing off basically. The reason for that is ventilation is right here. So I don't need the top to have ventilation. Right there's the heat sink. Got this open area right there. So that's all the ventilation I'm gonna need for it. Got the subs down firing right there. But I need to go put this in the Escalade, and I was gonna have my son help me, but he had to go to work. So wish me luck. Hopefully I don't blow my back out any more than it already is. And once that's in there, I can start running all the wiring. Got the enclosure in, amp wired up, so I think I'm gonna call it a night. The only thing left to do is I need to wire up the power wire under the hood to the battery, and I need to mount the acrylic to the back of this dope ass wood grain Cadillac laser cutout I did. I don't want to put it on there tonight because it's not quite yet cured. I'm actually going to take it off there. I was just putting it on there for the video, honestly. But yep, that'll look pretty nice, and we can trigger the light. Go ahead and unlock the doors. That triggers the can system to wake up. And then you can see how that's going to be. If we lift this out of there, there's the amplifier. So yeah, almost there. We'll have her done tomorrow. Looks pretty cool. Came out nice and clean. And tomorrow, when I finish it completely, I'll show off a cool feature that's on these amps. It's got a valet mode on it, which is something I've never seen before, but very appreciated. It's a feature where you can actually put the amplifier in valet mode. So if you take it to a mechanic shop or you have to leave your car somewhere for service, it reduces the amplifier to like 25%. So no one could just sit there and bang on your system. So that's it. I'm gonna go ahead and call it, go home, have dinner. I'll be back in the morning. Hopefully I'll be playing this thing probably by noon tomorrow, and then call the customer, tell them to come get it. Oh yeah, I forgot to say. See you tomorrow.